Do you think it's normal to pee a little bit when you laugh or you cough or you sneeze? And you've just accepted that this is part of your life. It kind of happens to everybody either as they age or after they have children, or you believe that it's just 100% normal and that there's nothing you can do about it. Well, today's video is for you because I'm going to dispel this myth that it is normal to pee when you laugh, cough, or sneeze. Now, I will say it is normal in the fact that so many women struggle with this problem, particularly after childbirth. So after childbirth, obviously your pelvic floor has been stretched out. Even if you had a C-section, you were having pressure on that pelvic floor during your pregnancy, and that changes the structure, the dynamics. You have the relaxin going through your body, so it's changing how your SI joints are moving and your hips and everything like that. So a lot of people do struggle after pregnancy. The other time we see people struggle with this is as they age. So the common belief is that the pelvic floor thins as we age, and that's what causes more urinary leakage when you're laughing or coughing or sneezing. And both of these things are true. Our pelvic floor does change after we deliver a baby, especially if you deliver vaginally. But again, even if you have a C-section, you still had that pressure building up for 10 months. But we also see changes in our hormones that do affect our pelvic floor as we age. However, I know many women who are able to laugh and cough and sneeze without peeing themselves. So is it normal? It is normal in the fact that it's happening to so many women, but it's happening because we're not talking about the reason why it's happening or what we can do about it. So I've had so many people coming into the clinic lately, so many women who are struggling with this, and it's not necessarily even what brings them into my clinic. So many of them are coming in for other problems. Maybe they have back problems or hip problems or even neck problems. And then they're asking me about this, or we start talking about this somehow, and they're shocked to find out that there's actually something that can be done about this. And I think it's very important right now, ladies, that we are educating ourselves and we are educating each other on the fact that you do not have to tolerate wearing a pad just to leave the house because you're afraid if you laugh or cough or sneeze, something's gonna come out. I mean, much less if you have to run or jump or something like that. I mean, can you even imagine? I know multiple women who run marathons, who jump on the trampoline with their kids, who don't have to wear a pad. So if you believe it's normal, it is in the fact that it happens to so many women. However, it's not physiologically normal. It's important to remember that every tissue in your body is designed to be able to heal itself, which means if there's been a trauma, like a birth, that is a trauma to the body, or if there's a change in hormones as we're aging, we still can keep pelvic floor control because your body is designed to be able to do that. It is really important to remember that key fact because then you know, okay, there's got to be an answer here. So what is the answer? Is the answer, Dr. Amy, that I should do more Kegel exercises? I'm gonna tell you, this is pretty controversial, but the answer is no. In fact, I want you to stop doing Kegel exercises. In fact, I want you to go on a Kegel diet and never do a Kegel again. I really dislike Kegel exercises, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the problem most likely is not that your pelvic floor is weak. So Kegel exercises are designed to strengthen the pelvic floor, and yes, there is a time after we deliver that the pelvic floor is, it's stretched out or it's a little weak, right? After you deliver a baby, that makes perfect sense. But most of the time, your body can deal with that on its own with normal healing in 6 to 8 weeks. So if you're still struggling after that 6 to 8 week period of time, it's gotta be due to something else. And Kegel exercises will not help because what's gonna happen with your pelvic floor, and the reason why you laugh and cough and sneeze and pee yourself a little bit is because your pelvic floor is tight, not because it's weak. I want you to think about the fact that if your pelvic floor is tight, that means it's maximally contracted. So those muscle fibers are on top of each other and they're fully engaged. And that's just for when you're trying to do regular activities like walking around, doing the laundry, going to work, sitting at your desk, whatever, your pelvic floor is engaged 100% of the time. It has to be, right? We don't want everything falling out. So the pelvic floor is definitely engaged. Now, if you ask it to do something that's a higher level with increased abdominal pressure, like coughing or sneezing or laughing, the pelvic floor is like super tight and it's like, I'm giving it all I can, Captain. What else is it supposed to do? It's just gonna let it come out because it cannot contract anymore. It's already fully contracted because it's so tight. How do I know this? I have had hundreds, literally hundreds of women in my clinic who have been told that their pelvic floor is weak, and that is why they're having this problem when they laugh and they cough and they sneeze and they urinate a little bit. 100% of the time when I do a pelvic evaluation, I find that it is not weak, it is tight. Those muscles are already fully engaged and they have nowhere to go. Because when a muscle is fully, maximally contracted, it cannot contract anymore. So if you are fully contracted when you are trying to walk, sit, wash dishes, squat down on the ground, and then you add some other stress like cough, sneeze, or laugh on top of that, well, the pelvic floor just has nothing to do. So the problem is not that your pelvic floor is weak necessarily. Now that may be a problem as well, and you may need some exercises to work on that, but more likely it is that it is just tight. And when we release the tension and we get that pelvic floor moving better, then it has a little bit of space. It has a little bit of give. Then when you cough or sneeze or laugh, it can give you that little bit more effort. So what do you do instead of Kegel exercises? I'm gonna link a video here that is my top exercises that I'm doing for my hips for 2023. Now, I am doing this specifically not just for my pelvic floor, but also for my hips because I have some running goals that I'm trying to meet this year. But it is a great video that has exercises that not only work on your pelvic floor, but work on your hip strength. It's very important, ladies, that we have good hip strength so that we can support that pelvic floor to decrease tension on it. So go watch that video now. You can see my favorite pelvic floor exercises. You can see some ideas and exercises to get your hips stronger because, ladies, stronger hips are going to keep you from having problems later on. All right, click subscribe if you like this. We're downloading videos a couple times a week. Have a good one, guys. Bye.